I got a couple of things that I want to talk about. Most people ain't gonna like it. It's 1:43 in the morning. Um, I got something I want to wake y'all up and show y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me just go back a couple of notches. People say, "Child, my baby's smart." And when Esau hear our people talk like this here, they laugh their ass off. Because there's a difference in between being smart and educated and wise. Those are two different things. Okay, let's break the first scenario down. People think that, because I used to think that, they think that being smart is being wise and being all one in one. But that's not so. Mm-mm. You got it wrong. It's good. Don't get me wrong. All of them is good. It's good to be smart. It's good to be wise. I mean, excuse me. It's good to be smart and it's good to be educated. I'm not in no ways knocking this. Matter of fact, when I first came to YouTube in the early days of YouTube, when back in 2013, I still consider that was the early part of YouTube, to 2013. You know, I often said you can be educated. I said this years ago. You can be, no matter how educated you is, no matter how smart you may think you are. I said you can argue with people, education, you can debate it. But one thing you can't argue true love. That's what I said. Now, let's get into the first one. People say, "Oh, my baby's smart." Okay, which is nothing wrong with it. I would love to be smart. I work every day reading. I mean, I'm not gonna say I do it every day, but I wants to be smart. It's fun to have knowledge because knowledge is power. It gets you from certain stages in your life, all of that. But you know what? I would rather, you might be some people out there, I give it to a lot of people, a lot of cats. You may be a smart cat. You may be very knowledgeable and skilled. You see what I'm saying? But the thing that would get me is this. It's not about how smart or how educated you is. It's about how you're using that knowledge. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Um, you got some people, I would rather be wise any day than to be educated and smart. Educated and being smart I don't really care about that one. I care more about the wise part because you have had a lot of educated people, smart people, knowledgeable people, knows how to build, put arts together, build apartments, and and know how to scheme. They scheme and do all of it, just like these people that call people on these phones, these scams, which come from Esau on these telephones. Y'all know how y'all get them scam calls. Them people are smart. They so smart they can see you naked probably in your house. These people like these 5Gs and all of that. So you might want to pump your brakes and come down some and not realize you're not you come to a conclusion you may not be smart at all. I told this child probably back in 2019, some years ago. They was like, I can say any word, I can break any word down. And it's like they was trying to shit on me. I said, it's nothing. I said, yeah, you can break a word down. And I told them like this. I said, what demon and what devil you don't know that don't know how to say? The devil know this book better than anybody. So which one, what are you trying to prove? The devil is you have to understand something about the devil. The devil is not dumb. The devil is us. And you know who that devil is? Esau. And he works through a nation of people that's actually that does that. So I say, what damn devil you know that don't know how to break a goddamn word down? The devil know how to do that. The devil know how to steal. The devil knows every goddamn trick in the goddamn book. Do you know they got some people that is so smart they can trick you up with their words? And that's what I wanted to get off into. That's why I named it this. People want to control your conversation and flip your words. And they're very damn good at it. And it starts at a very young age. You may find little kids at maybe, I'm going to say at 7, 8, 9, 10, know how to take your words and flip your same words on you and make it seem like you the goddamn problem. You got kids do that. They start at a really young age. They'll be like, Esau children is the one that's equipped for that. It's like almost like if you discipline a child, right? Children, because you have to understand, demons can get in kids too. They can, of course. Demons can get in kids. Demons can get into babies. When you start talking like this, and I want to show y'all some things. This person told me, it was a child, I'm smart. I can break down words, and because you're not saying it correctly, you're not this and that and the third, or whatever. You know what I mean? And I said, demons know words. The demons know a book inside and out. What damn demon you know, like I said earlier, don't know how to take a word and break it down into whatever. Now, I forgot where I was telling you I was going to go. But Smart people. Let me show you. Let me show you the definition of smart, but it's not the same as being wise. When you look at the angels, when you look at the Bible and you look at the word angels, we thinking that it's literally talking about angels, physical angels flying with wings with naked children. No, that's talking angels means a messenger of the Lord, according to Hebrews. Let's look at right here. I'm gonna give you some definitions of the word smart and educated and being wise, and see which one you would like being. Would you rather be smart, educated, or would you rather be wise? And there appeared a great one in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, crying, travail in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another one in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. The great red dragon is Esau, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. Now, verse 4, look what it said. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. The Bible says the third part, the angel, that's not talking about a damn literal dragon. That's talking about a nation of people. That's talking about Esau. The dragon is Esau, man. And it says, and drew a third part of the stars of heaven. Now, let's go and let's look at Revelation chapter 20 and verse 10. And the Bible said, and the devil that deceived them was cast into a lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophets are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and forever. The Bible said, and the devil that deceived them. What does the word devil mean? The word devil just simply means is to deceive. Now, the word deceive means schemes, tricks, treason, persuasion. That's what it means. It means all of influencing something. It has the power. The devil can deceive. Deceive means is to trick, make something look very convincing. Now let's go to Matthew. Let's go to Matthew's. Matthew's 24. Matthew's 24. The Bible says, for there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs. The devil knows how to trick you in words. He knows how to trick you into making you believe, or trick you and fool you into giving you all their money. They know how to convince you. The devil will sit right there in your face and lie to you and tell you he did not take what you say he did, and will try to flip it and make it seem like something wrong with you, or you fucked up. But you knowing the whole full goddamn time that it's them, but they'll try to sit there and convince you that they really wasn't up to it. Even if they wasn't really, they didn't do it, or if they felt like, damn, he might catch up with what I'm gonna do. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hide what I really want in some papers. I'm gonna hide what I really want, and I'm gonna stick it somewhere from the previous of what I was taking, to see if he would recognize it or whatever. And therefore, I really didn't fully all the way take it. I left it in there, but I just stuck it in between some paper from separated from the other stuff. You see what I'm saying? So they won't even know whether that money was taken or this was taken or whatever. They won't even know it. You see what I'm saying? So if I tried to take it, it'll just be, it won't be, they little do they realize that they think you crazy and you ball all of the stuff up together and you put it in one location, but they think that you're not going to be able to distinguish that they took and went and picked it from the pack and removed it and stuck it to some paper. And so if they try, well, I'm gonna see if I can get away with it. And if he don't recognize it, then I'm gonna run back in there real fast and I'm gonna get it. The devil is very cunning. He's sneaky. He's sneaky and he's cunning. You see what I'm saying? So being smart and educated to me doesn't mean a damn thing if you ain't using it right. If you use it in an unrighteous way, I don't give a damn how educated you is or how smart you are. I don't give a damn about that. I just give a damn how you using what you if you're using and abusing your education and your knowledge, it doesn't mean anything. Let me tell you how people can what they'll try to do. They'll try to play word tricks on you if they know you mad with them and they know that you done like did something. If they know that they done did something, and you say, "Did you do this here?" And they're like, "No." They'll try to sit up there and deny it. They'll try to play innocent. They'll try to play all those games with you. You know what I mean? And then they'll start flipping your words and playing fucking word games with you. Even little kids do this here. Yeah, they'll do it, man. And you be like, God damn, this shit is rooted in them from kids. And these are some demon spirits that have hopped on our people from Esau. Hopped off of Esau. Esau literally be putting them type of spirits on our people. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, of course. They literally be putting these devious pornography demons and all that kind of stuff, sexual immorality demons and all that type of stuff. You like, man, what the hell? Yeah. And what they'll do is if they know they done something wrong, they gonna give you a certain look. And when you ask them and you challenge them with it, then they gonna come. Then that's when they game running gonna kick in. You see what I'm saying? They games gonna kick in, and when you ask them a first question, this is how they would flip what you say. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking? See what they do is they'll say stuff like that, but at the same time they trying to flip your words. Like, do you know people will say, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" Like you can't see through that shit. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? See, when people say, "What are you talking about?" When you say something that offends them and they don't like what you're saying, and they trying to actually get away with it, and what they try to do is override your conversation, and they want to try to control your conversation like that. And you be like, man, fuck this shit. I'm not talking to nobody like that. I'm not talking to no goddamn manipulator like that. You go somewhere else with that shit, play that game with somebody else, but you got the wrong one here. They'll say, like, if you offended them and you made them mad or something, they'll come out with that when they get stubborn. When they get stubborn and you don't caught them in a lie, then they'll flip the words and try to say, "What are you talking about?" when they mad. When you don't caught them in a lie, they'll like and it piss them off, and you make them mad. Then they'll turn around and like, "Oh, I'm pissed off now. I'm just gonna say, play dumb. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" And that's what they do when they playing fucking dumb. That's what they do when they know they been caught up in their lives. You see what I'm saying? But I'm 39, 40, 50, 50, 60 steps ahead of them. but they realize they can't go around and fool everybody like that because they know everybody gonna pick up on their bullshit. They know you're gonna pick up on their bullshit. Just like if you go into a store, they tell you and try to be smart with you and tell you to leave all of your bags in the goddamn front. They'll come back there and literally just put their hands on your bag. But me, I say, hold it, wait a minute, don't put your hands on my bag. You politely ask me, do you mind taking your bags up there? You said, I don't want to put my hands on your stuff or whatever, and this and that and the third. But they'll just come in and just try to put, no, I said, no, you don't do that. And then I said, y'all, these some so and so, the white folks is this, if you go to saying, just calling out people like that, they gonna say you racist. How in the hell you racist and you don't even own nothing? By that logic, then, if I'm so racist, then y'all can control us when we come up in here. We don't control nothing in this world. The word racism just simply means power over another. You control something. When you don't have certain resources and things of that nature, then that's racist. How can I be racist when I don't control no resources in this world? Now, let's get back to the manipulating thing. You can be okay. What is the difference in between being educated, being smart? Okay, educated means that you are very knowledgeable about a lot of things. You see what I'm saying? You are knowledgeable about, like, let's say, how do you build a computer? How do you build a TV? I can sit here and do a 30-minute, get all the material, and I'm gonna show you exactly all the material that you need is to be able to build a brand new TV from scratch. Now I'm gonna show you how you can do it. That's what you call smart. People that knows all of what it takes is to create that all the ingredients that it would take to do that, to build something like that. That's smart. A smart person also is somebody that just knows every trick and trade when it comes to building, when it comes to making things, creating things. They very smart. They good at the uh just they knows how to like create different things. Did I explain educated? Educated is a person that they very knowledgeable about everything, a lot of stuff. The word smart, meaning that you know how to scheme, you know how, like definition of a scheming is a person that um they call it shorthand talking. They know how to scheme you and they know how to come up with a certain word. Just like instead of me talking to you long-handed talking, I shorthand talk you and make it real simple and make it make good sense. You see what I'm saying? Smart. That's what smart is. Somebody that knows exactly the type of words to use is to manipulate something. Like, all right, let's do this here. All right, let's do this. What is the definition of smart? Okay, having or showing a quick, wanted, intelligent. If he was that smart, he would never have been tricked. Or something independent, acting uh, smart weapons, or a wound or part of the body feel or cause a sharp sting pain. Okay. Having or showing a quick, wanted, intelligent, if he was that smart. Showing something. You know how to use a good, quick, intelligent word is to convince people, is to like, okay, this is what it is. Okay, let's look at educated. What is the definition of educated? Having been, okay, resulting from or having a good education, educating test. Okay, what is the full meaning of educated? Okay, having or especially having an educated beyond the average educated speakers, given evidence of training or practicing skills. Somebody that knows how to give, let's say, educated speakers, given evidence of training or practicing skills. You know how to hold, like they know how to hold certain equipments. They knows how to give a good speech. They know how to get a mic and get an audience, and knows how to make people laugh. They know what to say to them. They knows how to go and talk to women's like the, you know what I'm saying. They knows how to speak like a snake and knows what to say to the people. They know exactly what to say to you. They know exactly how to get to you. They know exactly how to talk you into giving them what money. They know how to talk you. They just know exactly the swing, the ropes and the swings. They know all of the every trick in the book of how to get you money. They knows every trick in the book of how to convince people is to accept who they are. Everything. They just beyond, they very sharp and skilled at knowing how to hit you with the right words. If you debating them, or if you talking to them, if you doing whatever it is that you're doing, if you if they trying to, like, if you arguing or you debating a woman, of a woman debating a man or whatever, they women they knows how to flip and manipulate words and stuff and make it seem like let me try to give you an example of somebody that's smart. A smart person that, like, if they done something wrong, they will come out and they will say something like, well, um no, I didn't. You say I trapped you in trying to get a baby because I wanted money out of you, and so you just decided you'll trap me and get a baby. And then she'll say something, say, no, by that logic, then both of us choose to have sex. So how you gonna say I tried to trap you when both of us choose to want to lay down and have sex or whatever? So how is that trapping you when we both agree to lay down and do these things? If you tell a woman, like, man, I believe she tried to trap me, or I believe she tried to do this, or I believe she tried to do that, which come from the ways of Esau, and you say, I believe that woman tried to trap me. That's why she got a baby, because she knew I was gonna have money and she knew I was gonna do this here. And then you turn around and she hear you say that, and then she turn around and say, no, well, by that logic, we both agreed to lay down and do this. And so how you gonna say I trapped you when we both agreed to do that? That's right there. That's a form of manipulation. They manipulated what you said. They took the truth and twisted it and tried to make it seem like, well, we both slept together. So how you gonna say I trapped you when we both agreed to do it? We both agreed to do this here. Lay down and do this here. So how did I trap you when we both agreed to? That's a manipulation right there. You see what I'm saying? That's what you call manipulating. Another manipulation that people can use, that we all use, I probably use it too. Like, well, I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to come here. That is a form of manipulation, because those are very strong words. Because you have to understand, when the enemy comes at you, he's going to use very strong a strategy temptation. How do you think Eve got tricked by the distraction of the other nations? People think that's talking about a literal fruit, but it's not talking about a literal fruit. That's talking about a nation of people. That's talking about the Canaanite nations. That's talking about the Phoenician Canaanite women, the African women. You see what I'm saying? They spoke like a snake. And what does a snake does? When they call a person, you deceive me, they really saying this is a person that has speaks with a fourth tongue. Everything that comes out their mouth, like the brother was saying, is nothing but a cunning lie. Everything. You see what I'm saying? So the only way you can defeat the enemy, and to know and be aware, and you can outsmart the enemy, is you first got to know the rules to the games and be aware of his tricks. That's all you got to do. Pay attention to the words that they use. Pay attention to every single move that you know, or every single word that they will use. They first words that they're going to use. What are you talking about? What are you talking? They're going to keep hitting you with that. What are you talking about? And it ain't nothing but a fourth tongue of the devil. The devil's using them to try to, and then what they'll try to do is they'll try to use certain words is to out talk you or over talk you. That's exactly what they'll do. They'll use certain words is to out talk or over talk you. And they want, and another thing, they'll try to control, like I said, people want to try to control your conversation. They want to flip and, like, have you ever been in a conversation with somebody, you get on the phone with them? That's why I don't like that phone. I mean, I really don't too much. You got to be careful who you're dealing with, man. You got to be careful who you're talking to, because the spirit of Esau is up on our people too. And if you ever want to pay attention to being in a conversation with somebody, or being in a conversation on the phone with somebody, the first thing that come out their mouth, like they'll say, how did you get in touch with me? How did you call? How did you do that? How you do that? And what they doing, if you trying to answer their question, they want you to answer their question, but they don't want to answer nothing that you say right away. If you puzzled about something, they gonna try to override you, asking them, how did you get a chance? How did you call this? How did you get involved with this here? You see what I'm saying? That's what they gonna do. They ain't gonna want you. They not gonna answer you direct. They gonna want to override you and want you to tell all your business. But if you say, wait a minute, I didn't ask you that. I asked you such and such wait a minute, what color is that? And then they go like, why you want to know? Why you want to know? Like, it's like both of y'all going back, and it's like you're going back and forth with that. And it's like, okay, no, what I'm trying to find out is, did you call me first? You see what I'm saying? Because I had the phone probably in my pocket or that, and I looked around, I know ain't go. Or maybe I'm thinking that my phone might have accidentally hit my pocket, and it might have called that number or whatever. I'm just making an illustration there. And they say, ignore what you're saying, and say, instead of them saying, well, you know what, it probably did. Because sometimes mine do that. Instead of them giving you giving you a question or answer like that, they're like, if you say, oh, I was thinking, I thought maybe that it accidentally called you. And you saying, how did you ask them, did you call me first? You initiate the first one. And they like, why? And you go, wait a minute, hold on. You asking me why? And I'm asking you, did you call me first or did I call you first? Because I had the phone in my pocket or I had the phone here. And they say, what you been doing? Like, wait a minute, we're not there yet. I'm trying to ask the question about, I'm wondering, did I call you first or did you call me? Because I didn't ring this phone. Maybe I might have. Did you call me first? They dance around what you're saying. They want you to, they jump to something else and demand that you speak on what they want instead of you addressing what is really done. They're trying to like throw words in there to override what you're saying. And you catch what you catch exactly what they're saying. And you be like, you know what? Mm-mm. Whenever you ready, I'll just hit you back up later on. I'm gonna go take care of this, da 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 da, this and that and the third. You see what I'm saying? So there are many ways people can manipulate something. You see what I'm saying? Like you can say, "Did you wait a minute? Did you drop? I thought I saw something that you dropped in there. Did you drop something?" And then they like, "So why? So what if I did?" And you in your mind, you like, okay, that ain't no respectful way to answer a question. We supposed to be talking civil. Because I thought maybe it might have been me drop something, you know? And what they want you is to go and do what they want. And then they start demanding you, saying, now, would you take me down to the corner store or would you do this here? And I'm like, well, wait a minute, I need to wash dishes. Would you take me down to the corner store for such and such such? Like, okay, you trying to override my conversation. Like, this ain't don't sound right. And so, hey, what's up, Pistol Pete? Okay, what's that? What's happening? Yeah, I was talking about how people want to control your conversation or manipulate what you're saying. You probably have to go back and look at it from the beginning. But now I didn't get a chance to get to this one. What does it mean to be wise? There's a difference in between being wise and educated. Educated and being smart. I would rather be wise than to be educated because you got some dumb, like they used to say, you got people like, you have to think about it like this here. The devil knows every trick in the book. I know I said that earlier, but if you look like a book like this here, I don't give a damn about you knowing every single word in this book. That don't mean shit to me. You can know how to do that and can be some of the dumbest people you ever want to you want to talk to. Oh, I know how to drive a truck. I know how to do this here and I know how to do that. Oh, you don't know how to say your words right. You don't know how to do this here and do that. Yeah, I would rather be in a position to where I'm not saying all of my words right and I'm wise. What does it mean to be wise? The word wise just simply means you know how to make, you can make good judgments about something. You have a good discernment about certain things and you know how to make a good wise decision. Like if somebody come and somebody say, hey, do you want to come? You take four people, four Esau people, right? And they say, hey, you want to come fishing with us on Man Shack? We going on a boat. We going on an all-day ride on a boat. Do you want to come? We want you to come. We're going to be out there until dusk, till about 12 at night. We want you to be out there with us. and this and that and the third. Right, and if these are Esau, you're gonna feel some type of way. No, you don't have to bring nobody else with you. It's gonna be us, and it's gonna be about 4 or 5 Edomites. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be about 4 or 5 Edomites, and we'll be glad to have you. Just you, you can come right away. You going to you're gonna have a funny vibe about that. You're like, nah, I don't think you should do that. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever been in a situation to where somebody asked you is to come somewhere and you just didn't have a good, what they call a good feeling about it? Like, I just have a bad, it's giving off bad vibes. You see what I'm saying? Something ain't just quite like it's all wrapped tight with this. You know what I'm saying? It's just something about this. It's just not right. I think I just tell them I'm about to pass them up on that. You see? So another way you can do it, if somebody fix some food and you sitting at the table, right? And matter of fact, I'm gonna back that up. Let's go to Proverbs 23. And I'm gonna back that up. Proverbs 23 and verse 1. When thou sattest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. Now, when it says, when thou sattest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. Now, when it's talking about eating, it's not talking about all the ways natural food. It's actually going into talking about knowledge, understanding, because the devil is very crafty when it comes to deceiving. Like another way, I'm gonna say this one here. When people say, you ask them, wait a minute, did you come in here and steal my so and so, such and such, such, just an example. And the person, I know you did, and you know they did. And then be like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What they doing, they trying to put you in a trance to where you're gonna come you're gonna be confounded to the point of where you can't speak. They're gonna try to say certain words to put you in a speechless situation to the point of where you're gonna be mad, but you're gonna be speechless and you're gonna be surprised at what they are saying. You see what I'm saying? And children knows how to do that. And Esau put this spirit on our children. Esau put this is a spirit, and I'm gonna prove that. Esau, this is a spirit that they actually put up on our people. That's why we have these things. Edomite is somebody that is, it comes from the name, a person that is a descendant of what you call these kind of people? A person that's not human. A person that do things out of the norm. A person that is not chosen by God. But a person that is a descendant of a nation of people. Matter of fact, let me get it out the Bible. I'll show you. Let me show you what an Edomite is. Genesis. Genesis 36 and verse 8. Thus dwelleth Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom, and these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. Mount Seir is the Caucasus Mountain where that's where Esau come from. And he is the progenitor and the forefathers of the Caucasian people. That's what that word Edomite is. Yeah. What is an Edomite? It is the progenitor and a member of the ancient people living in Edom and reigned south of the Dead Sea in biblical times, traditionally believed to be the descendant from Esau. That's what an Edomite is. They were a people living in Edom in the ring of the south of the Dead Sea in biblical times, traditionally believed to be the descendants of Edomite. Edom, the word Esau means also it means wasted away, no melon. That's right. The Edomites, it come from a word Edom. Edom means red. Also, that's what the word Edomites mean. The word Edomite is another word. It means red. Red. And when you look, what do they call the Caucasian people in the South? And they will tell you themselves. They bold enough in 2023. There was a so-called Caucasian man. He said, I asked, I said, "What's your nationality?" He said, "Oh, I'm a straight redneck." I said, "Wow, they coming straight out, and they just bold, and they proud to say that. Say it, you know." So Esau and Edomites, it just simply means red because it was a place in Edom in Mount Seir. Thus dwelleth Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. It means red. Yeah. These are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. These are the fathers of these are the progenitor and the Caucasian. I mean the generation and the forefathers of the Caucasian people. So all Caucasian people came from in Mount Seir. And Esau is the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. That's right. Hmm. That's what the word Edom. Let's get another word. What does the word Edom means? All right, a female given an old. Okay, hold on. Wealth, other names. Okay, what is the index in Hebrew means? What does Esau means? Original Hebrew meaning hairy. That's another word for Esau. Esau means hairy too. The original Hebrew meaning hairy. Esau is a boy's name of Hebrew origin. This name translates to hairy, but don't be put off by this usual meaning. Esau is a biblically significant name that belongs to the twin brothers of Jacob. Yeah, one came out red all over like a hairy garment, and another one came out, uh, which was described like everybody else. Jacob is the progenitor of the forefathers of the Hebrew. The Hebrew nations came out of the forefathers of Abraham. Let me prove that right quick. Where does Hebrew come from? Where does the Hebrew Israelites come from? Let's look right. You have to look no further. Oops. Chapter 11. The origin of the wait a minute. I'm looking for the origin of the Okay, let's. The origin of the white race. After the destruction of mankind by the flood, Noah and his wife and his 3 sons and their wives were the only people that were saved. The sons of Noah were Shem. Shem is the Hebrew name. That's where the Israelites come from. Shem and Ham. Ham is the progenitor and the forefathers of the African people. And Japheth is the name for the Caucasian people too. From these 3 sons of Noah were the whole earth populated. The ark rested on Mount Ararat. Mount Ararat was located in the land of Armenian. The words Armenian and Ararat means high ground. The entire earth at this time was of one speech and one language. Most of the people dwelt in the plain of Shinar. In Hebrew, the valley of Shinar. Men began to congregate in the territory and to build a tower up to heaven. The Jewish historian Flavius Josephus says God also commanded them to send columns abroad for the thought the people of the earth, but the people did not obey God. Now, when man was the presence in the process of building the tower of God, disapproving of its construction because it showed a disbelief in his word. Hold on, wait a minute. This is not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for the one where it says the origin of the black. Oh, here it is. The original black race. That's what I'm looking for. It says originally all Hamites. Now, when you see Hamites, the word Hamites, hold on. When you see the word Hamites, the word Hamites refer to the African, the dark race. Now, watch this in. Originally, all Hamites and Shemites Shemites were black. Abraham was a black Shemite, which are the Hebrews, and a descendant of Shem, a descendant of Shem, according to Genesis chapter 9 and 26. It says the name of Abraham was Abram before he was referred to as Abraham. The 3 Hebrew patriarchs were Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Thus Jacob begot 12 sons, who later fathered the 12 tribes of Israel. Abraham was the father not only of the Hebrew Israelite nation, but also of the Arab nations. Arabs came from Ishmael, bro. That's where Arabs come from. Now, the mother and grandmother of the Arabian nations were black Hamites, Egyptian women, and the fathers of the Arabian nations were Abraham and Ishmael. Black Shemites at a certain time there were hard feelings between Sarah, Abraham's wife, and Hagar, Sarah's maiden servant, to Hagar. So Hagar fled from Abraham's house and dwelt in the wilderness. Josephus and Jewish historians wrote that Ishmael married an Egyptian woman. It says, as a result, he begot 12 sons: Nabijah, Kedar, Abiel, Mibsam, and Mishma, and Dumad, Masser, Hadar, Timnath, Jephthah, Naphish, and Kedemat. These 12 sons became 12 tribes and inhabited the region from the Euphrates to the Red Sea and the Arabian Peninsula. This country is known today as Arabian. To those who do not believe that the ancient Arabians were black, I would like to make one point crystal clear. If your grandmother and grandmother were black, I am positive that you would have many colored futures. You see what I'm saying? So, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of colored futures, okay? Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and the 12 tribes of Israel were all black people. Thus I shall prove to you by a gradual method. After Joseph was sold down unto Egypt as a slave, we find in the 42nd chapter of Genesis that he has became the viceroy of Egypt. Joseph's 10 brothers came unto Egypt. Egypt is in Africa to buy corn, because a famine was in the land. All newcomers who came unto Egypt had to buy corn from Joseph. But when Joseph's 10 brothers came to Africa, they did not recognize him. They did not recognize him because Joseph had grew up and the Egyptians were a black people like the sons of Jacob. Jacob's 10 sons considered Joseph to be another black Egyptian. And see, that's what happened. And the reason why they did that is because our people start intermingling and mixing with these other nations. So that's why today you got Israelites looking like they're Ethiopians or so-called African Americans, and you got Egyptians looking like Israelites. You see what I'm saying? Because you have to understand that the Egyptians didn't worship the same God that the Egyptians did. That's why the Egyptians worship the birthdays and stuff. And I can prove that to you out of the Bible as well. We'll come back to this. I'm just trying to give you as much of a number of blacks were in the Bible. Yeah, black people are the original people of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason the Japheth, actually the so-called white man used to be the word they call themselves white. No, they're not white, they're red. They was black at one time, but since God changed, they color changed over time because they went against God. So God changed them to a so-called white man. At that time, it says in many places in the Bible we find the sons of Jacob and the later the Israelites taken. Listen to this hand. In many places in the Bible, we find the sons of Jacob and later Israelites taken black Canaanite women for wives. If the ancient Israelites were not originally black, they would be after the intermingling with black Canaanite women and men. You see what I'm saying? Look at here. When the king of Pharaoh of Egypt promulgated an index to cast all the Hebrew male babies into the Nile River, Miriam and her mother had the baby Moses in a basket, hid the baby Moses in a basket, and alongside the river. Meanwhile, Pharaoh's daughter came down to Nile to wash herself, and she saw the basket and the baby Moses. See that? And Pharaoh's daughter knew that the baby was a Hebrew. He was an Israelite, and she adopted him. Now, if Moses had been a white baby, it would have been difficult to control him from her father's anger. In the period of Moses, the black Egyptians enslaved black Jews. Did y'all get that? See, the black Egyptians enslaved the black Jews. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand the Egyptians and the so-called black people are two different people. You see what I'm saying? The Egyptians would be the so-called Africans, or what they call Ethiopians. Ethiopians are not the people of God. They were not chosen by God. The seed line went to Isaac in the Bible. And when people go around and they say God loves everybody, that's what boggles people. How in the hell can he love everybody when everybody is not going? They is on top of the world, but we are the only one that's going through different things, being in jail, being incarcerated. What nation of people be more incarcerated than any other people on the planet? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people. Now, let's get this part about the birthdays. Let me show you where that come from. What nation of people do that? Let's get the Bible. Let's go. See, I'm going to give you the history of it. Genesis chapter 43 and verse 32. Watch this. Genesis chapter 43 and verse 32. Let's read. And they sat on for him by himself, and they sat on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves. The Egyptians ate with them by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination unto the Egyptians. The Egyptians would not eat bread with the Hebrews because that was to be considered abomination with the Egyptians. The Egyptians didn't worship the same God as the Israelites did. So yes, when people say, why does it matter what God people worship? Yes, it does matter the God that people worship, because people have lied and said he was a so-called white man, but God is not a so-called white man. God is, according to the Bible, God is a so-called black man according to the Bible. Now you don't. This is that he don't look like this here. That's not what Christ looked like. According to the Bible, Revelation 1 and 14, the Bible describes him as a man of color. He's a black man. All right. Let's go and look at the birthday part of Pharaoh. Let's look at yeah, right. See, the Egyptians, they celebrated the birthdays. Let's do it like this. And it came to pass, and the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, King James. Genesis 40 and verse 20. Yeah, I was close by it. Genesis 40 and verse 20. The Bible says, and it came to pass in And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker amongst the servants. See that? The Bible said, and it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand these customs of like, that's why you see hair on my face. You ain't supposed to shave yourself, but uh, we not supposed to be celebrating like we shouldn't celebrate birthdays and stuff like that. Let me show you another person who didn't celebrate a birthday. I'm gonna show you what we should be celebrating. All right, let's go. Genesis chapter 40 and verse 20 says Pharaoh's birthday, right? So let's go and look at Job, the book of Job, chapter. See, a lot of people don't read this. They ain't gonna read this in the Christian church at all, and they definitely not gonna read the book of Obadiah. No. You'll understand the enemy not gonna tell you the truth. The enemy ain't gonna want you to know the truth. Your friend. That's why the Bible says in the Apocrypha chapter. Here we go. Let's. Ecclesiastes. I think it's Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 13. The Bible says, separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends. Only your friend, a real friend, is not going to put you in slavery. Only a real friend is not going to lie to you. Your enemy is not an enemy and a friend is two different people. All right, let's go and let's look at Job. It was talking about what's that scripture in Job, the book of Job. I should have went right to it while it was on my mind. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. I got it. The book of Job, chapter. I think this might be it here. Then okay, hold on. Let's do this right quick. Then Job opened his mouth and cursed his day. Job chapter 3. Oh, Job. I'm in the book of Proverbs. I'm tripping. Come on, dang. Job. Isaiah. Proverbs. Sing this with the enemy. Okay, here we go. Finally getting somewhere. Job chapter 3 and verse 1. The Bible says, and after this, Job opened his mouth and cursed his day. The Bible said Job opened his mouth and cursed his day because he was going through something. And it said, Job spake and said, let the day perish wherein I was born. He said, let the day perish where I was born, and the night and which it was said, there is a man child conceived. Let that day be darkness. Let not God regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it. Let darkness and the shadow of death stain it. Let a cloud dwell upon it. Let blackness of the day terrify it. It just goes on. And that's the reason why Job was crazy. Job said, look, let me tell you something. I don't give a damn about no birthdays. Curse that day. Forget that shit. That's what he said. He said, I ain't celebrating that BS. But in Genesis chapter, see, Job was an Israelite from the tribe of Levi. Yeah, Joseph was an Israelite from the tribe of Levi. And he cursed his day. You go back and read it in the book of Job chapter 3. And I can show y'all what we supposed to be celebrating. You know what I'm saying? I can show y'all what we supposed to be. Probably not going to have time to get into the whole thing tonight. But if you go and you look in Leviticus chapter 23, verses 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we supposed to be celebrating the holy days of God, not no birthdays. Because in Genesis chapter 40 and verse 20, the Bible says the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday. Those birthdays came from the Africans. That's their custom. They do that. That's why the Bible tells us in Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2, it says, learn not the way of the heathens. It tells us that we done learn. See, we done went and we done learned the ways and the customs of America. And the Most High told us not to celebrate or get engaged in that type of stuff, like Thanksgiving. That's what I call it. They call it Thanksgiving and all that kind of stuff. He tells us to don't engage in that type of stuff because those things contributed to the enemies, the murdering and the slaughter of our people. You know what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be celebrated by all means. That's why I don't celebrate so-called St. Patrick's Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, so-called Christmas, New Year, all of those things taught lies. What big fat so-called Edomite, gonna put on a suit and go down a chimney and get stuck in a chimney? What fool gonna do that? And then telling the lie that they tell our kids that, oh, Santa Claus bought that when your mother and your father went out there and worked hard for all that shit and worked and bought that stuff. But we done went around, we done believed the lies of Christianity that taught us a bunch of lies. Yeah. They done went around and taught our people a bunch of lies. And our people fell for it. Just like people think it was a literal snake, like I said in the Garden of Eden, that actually went and tricked Eve. No, that was dealing with the Canaanite women. The Canaanite, I mean the Hebrew women, because Adam's children was the sons of God. But the serpent that came to it was talking about a serpent, but it was talking about if you studied in the context, it was actually dealing with a nation of people called the African people that actually do. It called them a serpent because a serpent speaks with a forked tongue. When a person speaks with a forked tongue, they lie. That's where it was. That's where it comes from. How people, Satan is using our people and is able to take and flip your words. That's why a lot of women is able to be naive and be tricked by men when they see him with a nice car or something like that. Oh, is that your car? Because they tricked by that. And that's how Eve was tricked by the serpent. You see what I'm saying? And this is the way that our people are being tricked today. But I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk about that some more probably tomorrow. It's like 3 in the morning. So I'm gonna see y'all later, and we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. And because I got a lot more information that I want to put out. So I'll see y'all later. Peace and love to my people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people, which are the real Jews according to the Bible. And I'm out.